We found out earlier today that Ramaswamy wasn't going to get picked for senator from Ohio to replace Vance as he takes the oath as vice president in a few days. And it was reported, at least by The Hill, that he wants to, after being part of that Doge or Dodge or whatever that commission is, run for governor of Ohio in the following year. And I have to say, I'm actually, and this might surprise people, a little bit disappointed that he didn't get picked to fill Vance's vacancy, because I think, going off of what Ramaswamy said during his presidential campaign, he's someone who has non-interventionist foreign policy ideas, which I like. And I think if he were in a legislative body, whether it's the Senate or the House, he would be more inclined to take positions on international issues that that align with my perspective, sort of like how, Rand Paul does. And that's why I always say, even if Rand is a Republican and has all these backwards views on social issues, I still like him on a lot of international matters and, the war on drugs and whatnot, his opposition to it. So yeah, Ramaswamy won't be senator, which I think is a detriment to that body, because I do think Trump is more likely to listen to him than the lieutenant governor. I'm blanking on the name right now. And as far as his aspirations to be governor of Ohio, which are not confirmed, this is just a report that came out, you got to ask yourself, does Ramaswamy really want to be Ohio governor? I know that oftentimes you can say the governor is basically like the president of their respective state, right? It's chief executive of the state. But I can't see him being content with a position like that for that long, or really at all. I don't see him as the type of figure who could be content having a job like that. Someone like DeSantis, for example, totally makes sense why, after being congressman, he wants to be governor, or, briefly was trying to run for senator before Rubio changed his mind. With Ramaswamy, if he intends to run for president in 2028, it makes no damn sense to be governor of a pretty large state for 2 years and then try to take the White House. Now, of course, you could say he's long-term planning for, 32 and 36. But even then, it's what could he really campaign on as a gubernatorial candidate? Now, of course, I think if he ran in a primary, he'd sweep the floor with most of his opponents, as far as I can tell now. But it's one of those things where you really think, okay, if he's able to become governor, which I think if he wins the primary, he would, have just whoever the Democrat is at that point is likely not going to win. But what would he do as governor? As far as I can tell, immigration is not that big of a deal in Ohio. So that's out of the question in terms of something he could possibly campaign on. Maybe there'd be some budgetary matters he could discuss, but I don't see that as a job that he would really want or even do that well in. So it's crazy to think about. I made fun of him and his, the Ramaswamy supporters, but I would have liked to have had him as senator, because I think if he were there, you'd be more inclined to see positions from him that I could actually side with. But, he's young and he's going to be around for a while, so maybe he can jockey for some other job that allows him to have stances I can align with.